Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Angelo, welcome. I wanted to start this video off a little bit different because I just wanted to say something that's kind of, I've been thinking about, and it's gonna, affect the channel a little bit. But by that, it's just that I'm gonna be talking with less of a filter and more genuine, because I feel like my past videos, like, yes, it does represent me, but also, like, I feel as though like I'm talking with a huge filter around, and I'd rather it be a little bit more genuine to me, and represent me a little bit more accurately, because me, I like to cuss quite a lot, and I feel like that's just a big part of my personality. And the whole point of this was to kind of put myself out there and to give like a representation of me, and hopefully people can relate to that. And I hope that the people who do watch my videos will continue to enjoy them, as well as enjoy these new ones. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely be a little bit more free, a little less scripted, I suppose, in terms of the word choice that I use and whatnot. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And I figured, what better way to start this whole new chapter than to do a story time of my time dealing with an instructor who was difficult at times. So let's get into it. So this instructor was somebody who I took a class, actually a handful of classes for over the past few years, but this story begins about 2-3 years ago. So I started taking his class. I took one online, which was completely 100% online, no dual, anything like that. The other one I did in person, but we had to do work online and then work in class. All right, so just a little backstory on the type of things that were like going on in this class. It was like it was strange, because sometimes like he'd be nice when he wanted, but other times it'd be very like different. For instance, one time when my friend and myself were coming into class, she was wearing like a sweatshirt and pigtails. And whenever she walked in, he said, "Oh, you look like a trendy toddler." And I was like, what the fuck? Like I'm just like, wow. And then just like I feel like a lot of people didn't really like interacting with him, unless like there were certain things, but for the most part, like, people didn't really like asking questions. Like on his Rate My Professor, which I read through just to see if it was accurate to what my experience was, which for the most part it was. It was like, don't ask questions, will condescend you, and stuff like that. And I can definitely see how that would be somebody else's experience, because I also experienced it. So yeah, the environment was strange. Sometimes he'd be talking about like Playboy magazine and drinking, and which is cool, because that's people, but it just like was confusing, which I'll get into the story. But lastly, like, I didn't really expect him to be as like conservative, uptight as he ended up being, because there's be times like he'd talk about Playboy and stuff, but then like he was talking about how him and like his friends got their guns out on some guy in their neighborhood, and like took him to like a forest and beat the shit out of him or something like that. So yeah, it was strange. It was a learning experience, not just for the class, but in general. Alright, so the story begins. I was taking the two classes. As I said, the one online was just like different digital media aspects. So I remember for this project, we were mixing sound bites from websites that he had recommended to do free sound bites, and then like tell a story with them. Gave examples. He's like, make it interesting. I want to think about this. Like, I want it to be interesting. I want it to be captivating type thing. All right, well, since you're talking about Playboy and talking about beer and all this stuff, I'll make my story just that. So, and it's my fault too. I will take, accountability for it being a bit risque, but, in the class, that's just the type of environment that we were around, so I figured it would be okay. Anyways, I decided to do like wood creaking noises, and I'd have somebody kind of making like a strange noise from the sound clip, so it's like it can be interpreted in different ways. Like I felt like either they could be like being beat up or something else. So they're walking up the stairs, the noise gets louder, gets louder. As soon as they open the door, the noise is loud at the loudest point. Then they run back down the stairs crying and slam the door. And it was telling the story of either somebody walking in on a murder, or somebody walking in on their significant other cheating on them. It was what it was. I submitted it. I don't even think I was even that nervous about it, to be honest, because it was whatever. I received the grade for it, I believe, like the following Monday, and it was 100%. No notes, nothing like that. Cool, I did my work. Then, and whenever I went back into that class, because I had class that day, we were there doing our work, and then like just at one point, he stops the class and says, "Hey guys, I want to show you something." And I was like, "Oh fuck," because in my heart, I knew that he was gonna bring up my work. I just knew it. Like, that was just something that like told me, what the fuck, like, why me? And I wasn't wrong, because he called me out in front of everybody. So pretty much he pulled up the stuff. He's like, "I want to show you guys something. This is the type of work that I don't want." Like, really? Like, you couldn't have emailed me? You couldn't have like, pulled me to the side outside and said, "Hey, it wasn't appropriate" type stuff. Whatever. Whenever he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. I just knew that it was about me. So he pulls up his files, goes to my name. Meantime, his computer screen's being projected onto the freaking whiteboard, so everybody can see whose like work he's talking about. So I just remember watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, don't scroll down, because that's like, I know my last name will always pretty much be at the bottom. And sure enough, he scrolled all the way down, clicked on my folder, opened the stuff, played the soundbite, and then stopped it and was like, "Yeah, that's the type of work that I don't want." And then he was like, "That needed a parental advisory. People are gonna think a bunch of stuff, blah blah blah." I'm like, okay, and you like really had to do that? So like the whole class started busting out laughing. My soul left my body. Like I'm literally having a secondhand embarrassment just retelling the story, like secondhand embarrassment for myself. And everybody's laughing. They're like, "Oh, why would they submit something like that? Blah blah blah." Like, just kind of playing along, trying to kiss his ass, like to, I don't know, get brownie points, I suppose. But the whole class laughs, and he's just going on and on and on about like what you should have done and like all this stuff. I'm like, what? Like, come on now. Like, you really had to embarrass me like that? And yeah, so after that, like he waited to hand out the sign out paper to show that you were in class so that you can leave. He waited until after that to hand out that paper. As soon as I got that paper, I was out, because bitch, you ain't about to sit there and embarrass me like that. Like, really? And yeah, it was just like literally one of the most embarrassing times ever, to be called out in front of all those people like that. Like, shit. And then, yeah, I think that would be more embarrassing than the time in high school that I was writing my erotic novels. This is the time that 50 Shades of Grey, and I was writing my erotic novels, and my teacher actually collected that notebook, and I forgot to take them out. Which, if you do want to hear that story time, comment below, let me know. And yeah, so just that time was like so embarrassing. It made it really hard to like ask questions and like even interact with anybody in that class at that point, because like after that you're just like so embarrassed and like feel so defeated that your work gets called out. And it's like, if you had a problem with it, you should have said, like, as a person, not embarrass somebody like that. And I feel like that was like a reoccurring theme in that class, because like just like I said, the toddler thing, like when we'd ask questions in the class, like, because we had to do work from the book, we wouldn't really be doing anything, you know, new. It was all book work. And then when we do that and we need help, a lot of the times the comments would be like, oh, well, maybe you should restart. It's like, we missed like 1 or 2 steps with a program that you've been working with for like 10 years, probably way longer than that, and you can't, like, you know, sit down and help us. So it was a interesting time, but you know, I made it through. My friend made it through. We did our best, and yeah, so we learned from that experience. Little bit traumatizing, but you know, I feel like now I know, even if you feel really comfortable with the instructor, maybe sometimes, like, even if they are talking about those type of subject matters, it is best just to kind of stay away from stuff that might be deemed inappropriate or whatever. So yeah, that was the time that I was called out in front of the class and fronted. But let me know what you guys thought. I hope that you guys enjoyed my embarrassment. Comment below if you guys want to follow me on Instagram. My handle is AZ_the_new_classic, as well as AngeloZTV. I really appreciate all the feedback, all the views that you guys you know, put into watching my videos. It really does mean the world to me, all your support. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. And if you want to hear more story times, I'll start thinking of some more, and hopefully I'll start growing with that, and maybe I'll find some longer ones that you know, will be a little bit more drawn out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great one. Stay safe out there. Bye.